Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Life is a marathon. Life is not a sprint. When you're running a sprint, you're expected to maintain the same pace and continue running until the end. But when you're running a marathon, you start slow, you pick up pace, you relax. So a marathon is run in phases, and you have to regulate your speed as you run along. Sometimes you have to stop and take a drink of water or catch your breath. The most important thing is to keep running. Keep moving and never stop. You can pause, but do not stop. So life is like a marathon. There are breaks along the way, pause breaks, not stop breaks. And when you pause, pick up and start moving. Because it is a long race. You can only enjoy it when you take breaks along the way. The most important thing is, wherever you are, no matter how long you have paused, pick up yourself and keep moving. And when you pick up yourself and start moving again, you're going to start slow, probably. But you will pick up speed and gain momentum as you keep running. So remember, life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Keep moving, keep running, keep taking small steps. Pause if you have to, but do not stop. Hello everyone, I'm Kate Onakomaiya, certified coach, speaker, and bilingual facilitator in English and French. I'm also the author of the book, The Growing Life, 10 Principles for Creating a Life of Intentional Growth and Staying the Path. For over 2 decades, I've had the privilege of working with leaders across Africa, Europe, and the United Kingdom, helping them to communicate with impact, to unlock potential, and to build teams and cultures where people can thrive. My passion is simple: helping you to live a life of intentional growth and staying the path. Because I believe that growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. It happens daily by taking intentional actions and making conscious choices. My mentor, John C. Maxwell, says growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better. And so today I am excited to speak about personal growth, values-based leadership on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ. And I'm inviting you to join us on this conversation because I know that we are going to add value to you and we're going to learn and grow together. I look forward to seeing you on the podcast. I am your growth partner.
Thank you so much for being with us. So, we're going to start with our moment of gratitude, like we do as a custom on this show. I want you to think about one thing that you are grateful for. All right. So, uh, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, put yourself in your happy place, and think about one thing you are grateful for today. I think today I am really grateful for technology. I think we over rely on technology, but when it works, it's just like magic. And I am grateful that with the power of technology, we can connect with people across America and around the world. It is really amazing. Me being here in California, in Silicon Valley, being able to talk to a international coach in Birmingham, England, it's just amazing what technology can do. All right, without any further ado, let me introduce my guest today. Today, I would like to introduce Coach Kate Onakomaiya. And for those who don't know, she is a certified Maxwell leadership coach like me. She's a bilingual facilitator just like me. She speaks English and Francais. And she's an author just like me. She's the author of A Growing Life 10 Principles for Creating a Life of Intentional Growth and Staying the Path. For over 2 decades, she has had the privilege of working with leaders and teams across Africa, Europe, and the United Kingdom, helping them unlock potential, communicate with impact, and build cultures where people thrive. Again, help me welcome Coach Kate Onakomaiya. Hold on.
Hey,
All right. I think I can hear you. Okay, I can finally see you. Good to see you,
good.
Coach. Thank you so much for being here. Man, it's been a challenging morning with technology today. So the introductory video, I couldn't play it now, but that's okay. On the podcast, that's going to be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I will make sure to include that. All right. To get started, what is one thing you are grateful for today, Coach Kate?
Oh, today I am just grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my husband, my kids, and I'm just grateful that we have a close relationship, close bond.
That is wonderful. And can you tell us about one thing about you that most people may not know?
Oh, one thing about me that most people don't know is that I'm an amateur gardener. So I
Wow.
started gardening. Well, I just started a little bit in 2023 and then I stopped. But this year I went kind of like more into gardening, learning about it, growing. So I grew vegetables, I grew tomatoes, and I grew onions, and I grew mint, and I grew a
Mm.
lavender plant and aloe vera. So I've just been trying my hand at gardening, and it's so interesting to watch my plants grow
Wow,
and
that
to
is
eat fresh
so
produce
beautiful.
too, because my fresh
Yeah.
produce are so juicy.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Can you tell us about your leadership journey?
Oh, my leadership journey. It's where will I begin?
As far back as you want.
Where do I begin? Well, it's just been a journey of growth
Mhm.
and learning for a long time. I started becoming really intentional about my leadership growth and development in 2011 when I
Wow.
realized that my team wasn't growing, and I realized that I wasn't growing and I needed to become a better leader. That's when I started going after leadership books intentionally, looking for resources to grow. And I got connected to a minute with Maxwell at that time. I was also searching for an academic program on leadership that I could do. I was really looking to grow as a leader, intentionally grow as a leader, and not just assuming that I was leading. Because prior to that, I had the assumption because I was leading a team, I had a business, I had employees. So I just assumed that, oh, I'm a leader. But I realized that I needed something more. So in 2011, I got connected with John C. Maxwell more deeply and started following him intentionally. And then in 2012, I joined his team, his legacy team. And I've been mentored by him since ever since. It's been a really wonderful journey of growth. I'm privileged to be a part of his maximum impact mentoring program, where every month I get to learn from him, learn leadership from him. So I'm really gaining so much from him in that area of
Wow.
leadership. Of course, I've read other leadership authors. I follow different authors as well, not just John, but John is really like my main person, my Papa John, right?
Well, we definitely have that in common. What is your favorite book from Papa John?
Well, my favorite book from Papa John is The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
really
one.
my number one. It's kind of like a growth manual for me. And
Hmm.
I go there. That's the book that really taught me about intentional growth,
Hmm.
that yeah, I have to know myself to grow myself. And
Yes.
I just love that book. If you see my copy, it has years, it's so worn out because I keep it like, like like an old Bible that you don't want to
Yeah.
let go of.
Yes.
I have new ones, but I just love that old one.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of my favorite too. He has so many. Of course, to me, the one I really like the best is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. But that is so wonderful. So tell us, when we look at your career, you've had such a fascinating journey, right? From corporate finance in Cameroon, where they speak French, which is in Central Africa. I am originally from the Congo, Central Africa too, and Nigeria, to executive coaching across Europe and the UK. What
Mhm.
inspired your transition from managing money to developing people?
Oh, managing money. I would say it was inspired. It was inspired by marriage, actually. So when I got married, my husband is Nigerian. So when I got married, I had to move to Nigeria. And where we were in Nigeria, I had a choice to shift, really to make a shift from managing money, finance, like in the finance part of the world, to customer service and commercial banking.
Hmm.
Thing I love is that I was still managing money, but in a different way, not as an accountant like I used to be and do back in Cameroon, but as a personal financial consultant. And so I started helping people to, to see how much money they have, what they can do with their money to ensure that they have, they're in touch with their investments, and they have someone that they can relate with in terms of their banking needs, and also ensuring that they have proper, really great service from the bank. Yeah, so that was a transition that moved me from Cameroon finance,
Wow.
accounting, to personal financial consulting, which and customer service, which was more of a people facing role. And then later
Wow,
on, coaching.
that is really fascinating. What personal turning point led you to found Exponential Growth Academy and dedicate your life to empowering leaders?
Right. Exponential Growth Academy was born out of my desire to grow and see others grow, and not just grow um, in in a haphazard way, but in a structured way, to grow intentionally. And I believe that if we can focus on growth, we can achieve our goals. So Exponential Growth Academy, it's a space where people can actually become the best versions of themselves. And we do that through coaching, speaking, training, facilitation in English and French. And we also do keynote speaking at organizations. Yeah.
Wow, that is really, really fascinating. Just know the impact you've had, not just in Central Africa, but I guess Nigeria would be West Africa, in Europe and European Union, and in the UK. And I know you do come to the US quite a lot. I'm
Mhm.
surprised I missed you during the last IMC. It looks like you were in Orlando, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
I was there in
maybe I'm gonna
August.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna meet you in person V1 next year. But one question I have for you with all of the global impact you are having, someone who works across continent, what do you think are the universal truths of leadership that transcend culture, language, or geography?
One truth: leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
I think that phrase, I when I heard it the first time from John, I doubted it. But as I grow as a leader and studied leaders and also empowered leaders, developed leaders, I realized that that statement, it's kind of like an absolute.
Mm,
Leadership is influence, nothing more. And it transcends culture and time. If we look at big greatest leaders in the world today, there's one common trait everywhere. They have
mm.
influence. Yeah.
Wow, that is so powerful, and I think it's probably the easiest, simplest definition of leadership I have ever heard. And what it tells to me is, for you to be a leader, you don't have to have a title, right? And you
No,
don't have to have people that you supervise, because you can
no.
influence your neighbor, you can influence your children, even as
Yeah.
a parent, you can influence someone else, and that's really the essence of leadership. So let me ask you this. How do you coach leaders to balance ambition with contentment, the tension between striving for more and appreciating where they are right now?
I love that question. In my book, The Growing Life, I know we're going to talk about it, but
Mhm.
one of the principles that I talk about in my book is reach for more, reach for more. And
Mm,
not more money, not more fame, not more titles, but for a higher version of yourself and
mm,
to stay connected to your source. So I love talking about more. I believe that we're created for more. And I believe that that is the essence of people, the desire to grow, because deep down in you that you have a great potential, and so
mm,
our potential is always calling us to seek a higher expression of ourselves, to just reach out for more, more of who we are created to be. So for me, when leaders do that, reaching out for more from inside, more of who they are, more of their potential, more
mhm.
more influence, then they can really achieve greatness.
Wow, that is so powerful. So you mentioned your book, and I want everybody to get a copy, The Growing Life. And in your book, no, it has become a beacon for intentional growth. What does growth mean to you, and how can leaders avoid stagnation in their careers or teams?
Oh, for me, growth is simply reaching, like I mentioned, reaching out for more. I believe that we have an inherent desire inside of us
Hmm.
to be more, to have more, and to do more. When we respond to that desire that is inside of us and we start taking intentional actions, to just live a more fulfilled life and to be the best version of ourselves, that is growth. That is growth. That's what it
So
means to me.
let me ask you this: so for this audience, no, all kinds of people listen to the show, but those I focus on the most are the aspiring leaders in the military and in high tech, right? So,
Yeah.
and many of them they really lead under a lot of pressure. How can they create daily habits that drive both personal growth and professional excellence?
You know, Coach Busy, when we think of growth, right, we think it's something that it's really big steps, big things that I have to do. It's probably, oh, I need to pick a book and read, or if I have to take a course, or I need to attend an event, or those big things. But
Hmm.
growth happens daily, and it happens with small actions, small steps, and it happens with conscious choices that we get to make. When we started this podcast, you asked, what are you grateful for today?
Hmm.
An attitude of gratitude, that's one area. That's where growth comes from that. When we start becoming grateful for small things, we are sparking something inside of us, and we're sparking our potential. That look, we're just
Mm,
seeing a light. So growth happens every day by taking small intentional actions. Yes, you need to read. That's important. But there are
yes.
several ways, there are different ways you can read. You
Mm,
can read a physical book, you can read an audio book, you can read an ebook, and you don't really need to read so much in a day. I say 10 minutes, 15 minutes is just perfect. If you
mm.
can do that consistently over time, you will find yourself becoming more, having
Wow, that's
more, and doing more.
that is so powerful. So in your case, you coach and facilitate in both English and Francais, and
Oui.
even some Japanese too. Which I understand Japanese just a little bit, but it's a very difficult language. I've gone to Japan several times, especially Yokosuka. I've been based there with the Navy. But anyway, how has multilingual coaching deepened your understanding of human connection and leadership?
Well, but I don't, on Japanese, I'm still learning Japanese.
Okay.
I'm just fascinated by the language and the culture. And so I'm
Yeah.
learning Japanese from Duolingo, just the basic things.
Oh, I
So,
see. Because I think my daughter will be speaking Korean before I learn Japanese. She likes K-pop music. But anyway, and I was also shocked last time I went to France. Her cousins, right, my nieces and nephew over there,
yeah,
French-speaking African people originally from Africa, they are dancing and speaking Korean because they love K-pop. It's just amazing how much that music has influenced this Gen Z. It's incredible. But anyway,
yeah. Well, I think the beauty of being multilingual is the ability to, I think it helps our creative thinking.
hmm
It helps me to think creatively and culturally. That there are different cultures. There are two cultures. Cultures are attached to languages. So the cultures are different. And one thing that sometimes even amazes me is the ability to switch from one language to the other, the ability to think in English and to think in French, and to
mm,
just it's kind of like a dance to me.
yes.
I mean, something happened recently. Just last week, I was driving, and I'd left the house, and I realized that I forgot something. And unconsciously, I said, "Zoot!"
So let me ask you this: being from Cameroon, French is your first native language.
Yeah.
When you dream now, do you dream in English or in French?
When
hmm
I dream in English.
Okay,
Sometimes I
okay, me
dream in
too,
French.
me
And
too, me too.
sometimes I think in French, and I mean, it just happens spontaneously. And sometimes I have difficulties finding words in both
Yeah.
language. I can think of something in French and I'm looking for the
Yes.
English meaning, or I can
Yes.
think of something in English and I'm looking for the French meaning. So,
Wow,
and
that's
sometimes my
incredible.
husband catches me. I will say something that is the French version of that thing, and he'll correct me
Wow,
that no, that's not how it is. But
that's really something. Now, your husband being originally from Nigeria, so English is his
yeah,
native language. Does he speak French also?
no, no, he
Okay. My
doesn't.
my wife doesn't speak French fluently. I think if I take her to Paris for like 2 weeks, she will be able to. But she's been studying for maybe, 10, 15 years now. She
Mhm.
understands French when it's written down. She can read it and understand it. But when it's
Right.
spoken, it's too fast. She can't really pick it up. But
Where's she
something
from?
with my kids. Also, she's originally from the US, so just like your spouse, so English
Oh,
is your native language as well. Now, here is another big thing we have in common. You and I, we are both Maxwell certified coaches. So Papa
lovely.
John is our primary mentor. Let me ask you about your experience with Maxwell leadership. So how has Papa John mentorship and methodology influenced your own leadership DNA?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, John's leadership ideologies are just life changing, and I like the fact that he really talks more about leadership being servant service. That as leaders we are called to serve, and I love the legacy part also. John is also big on legacy. That's the reason he started the John Maxwell team or Maxwell Leadership
Yes.
Certified team, because he wanted to build a legacy team that will carry his ideas, his ideologies on leadership and just spread it across the world so people can, know and learn true leadership values and live leadership values. So that's something that I've learned from him, being an authentic leader and
Yes.
a leader that is not afraid to fail, a leader
Mm,
that serves. And let me tell you a story. When I was moving to the UK, on our mentorship call, a monthly mentorship call with John, I asked him the question and I told him, John, if you were moving to a new country, a new place where you've not been before, and
mhm,
you're just relocating, you want to kind of starting all over again, what are you going to do? Because that's what's happening to me. I'm moving to England and
mhm,
I just want to see some form of direction, what to do when I get there. And John said, if it were me moving to a new country, because I'm a person of faith, I'm going to find a church and serve.
mhm.
And he said, that's what I'll do if
Wow.
if I was doing that. So when I got to England, the first thing I did was to find a church and serve. It took me a
That's
couple of
powerful.
months to understand, but I
Mhm.
had that word really
Yes.
resonating within me. And that has helped me to continue serving in my church and to really
Mm,
put my heart into service, really serving the church, the members, and ensuring that
yes.
things go right. So I'm currently the workers lead in my church, like the volunteers lead in my church. And I don't know
Wow.
how. I don't know how my pastor just
Well, because you are a leader. That is really powerful because I remember when I moved from Africa
yeah,
to the US when I was 17 years old. Being part of a church it really gives
yeah,
you community, right? You don't feel like you are
hmm
alone and you can share life with other
yeah,
people who have the same values and mindsets. That's really powerful. So you mentioned this one was your favorite book from Papa John,
yeah.
15 Infallible Laws
That's
of
it.
Growth. Which one of the laws means the most to you?
The law of intentionality.
Mm,
The law of intentionality. That's the. In fact, that is the first thing. Growth is
yes.
intentional.
Yes.
You can't do it any other way. I mean,
Mm,
Papa John has a way of saying this. He says everything worthwhile is uphill, and he
that's
says
right.
you don't just climb up a hill by accident.
Mm,
So you can't grow by accident. You have to take intentional steps. It's not going to happen by just sitting and waiting for it to happen. Or it's not going to happen because you're
yes.
growing older. You're not going to grow because
Mhm,
you're getting older, because your kids are getting, they're leaving the house and you've
yes.
retired. Sometimes we think, oh, when I retire, I'm,
Wow.
I'm just going to be better. But
Yes,
it's
yes.
intentional.
That is really powerful. And your book too, right? The Growing Life, 10 Principle for Creating a Life of Intentional Growth and
Yeah.
Staying the Path. So intention without
Mhm.
it, life is just going to happen to you. You're going to end up somewhere you may not want to go. And like another one of my mentor, Les Brown says, right, at least if you shoot for the star, you may not catch them, but at least you're going to be on top of the roof or in the cloud or somewhere, not where you are now, right? You are going to be on the path toward whatever your goals are. Okay, before we,
Yeah.
we go over to the second segment, I want to ask you, you are also a Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Fellow.
Mhm.
Congratulations for that. That's huge. How has that experience shaped your perspective on women empowerment and entrepreneurship?
Oh, the 10,000 Women's Fellowship, it was an intensive business growth program that I did in 2019. And it helped me to understand the business landscape. First of all, the business landscape, and then my leadership strengths, and also how to invest as a woman. And there's a lot going on with women empowerment all over the world, and opportunities for women, and women just becoming more on, just growing into their potential and taking their place in business, in technology. And so the 10,000 Women Fellowship, first of all, it was a platform for me to learn and grow as a female entrepreneur. That was very important to me. And then it's connected me to a network of other female entrepreneurs, amazing women doing fantastic, doing so well all over the globe.
Wow.
So the community is a growing community, it's a rich community. And it just helps me to understand that there are other women out there who are,
Mm.
reaching for more, who want to be the best they can be and are not
Yes.
afraid to step out and take risk. Yeah.
That is really, really powerful. We're going to be focusing on leadership now. I'm sure the question I'm
Mm.
going to ask you, you probably know about them because those are the seven category of questions that Papa John asked everybody he meets for the first time. But the other thing that's very interesting with this conversation is because we have both been mentored by Papa John, we really have the same DNA. So when I listen to you, it's like I'm listening to him. It's like I'm listening to myself. So it is really wonderful to have this feeling. We just met today for the very first time. I've never talked to you before, but it's as if I've known you my entire life. This is just amazing.
And we have
Anyway,
so much in common, busy.
yeah. So the first question I am going to ask you, and also by the way, I'm going to make sure this video is going to be translated in more than 24 languages, including French, Spanish, Portuguese, and
Wow. Wow.
Korean. So that's going to be fun. Uh, what is the greatest lesson you have ever learned?
The greatest lesson I've ever learned is that people matter.
Mm,
People matter, and people are worthy to be given space and opportunity to express themselves. I mean, one thing that I've learned is that we cannot disregard people, as especially as a leader. Without people, there's no leadership. We lead people, we don't lead inanimate objects. And people are they're who they are. Understanding human behavior, understanding people is really the key to
mm,
really fruitful and fulfilling leadership, knowing that people matter and there is a way I need to relate with them so I can influence them. And when we talk of influence, by the way, it's not about, there's a thin line between influence and manipulating. We're not talking about
mhm.
manipulating them to get them to do our
Yes.
bidding or do what we want, but we're talking about empowering them so they can be the best version of themselves, so they can go to and do
Yes.
what they want to do, what's
Mm,
going to give them the best opportunities, the fulfillment, and the best life that they have. So that
wow.
they can have. So people matter. That's really one of the biggest lessons I have learned that has stayed with me. Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite powerful. I also wrote an article about the difference between influence and manipulation a couple of months back because once you become good at this, you can easily manipulate people to do things that you want and not in their best interest, and people have to watch out
Exactly.
for that.
Yeah.
So your career has really been extraordinary. Cameroon, Nigeria, Africa, European Union, and the United Kingdom, and your impact. What do you think is the secret of your success?
Oh, funny enough, I don't usually think myself as successful. Some people say, "Oh, I downplay all my achievements a lot." I downplay my journey a little bit, or maybe a lot. But I think one, if I can think about it right now, I don't know if there's a particular secret to it. I'm just being who I am and just loving God and following Jesus and
Mm,
just treating people in the best way I can at all times, being kind and
mm,
respectful. Yeah, really. So I wouldn't say there is a particular success story.
yes.
I mean, like a secret. There's no secret. I'm just being who I am, growing to my full potential and helping people
Wow.
along the way. Yeah.
That is very powerful. Reaching your full potential, being the very best version of yourself, and treating people right. Now, it goes back to what you said earlier. People matter, and they really
Yeah.
do. In the Navy, we say, mission first, because you do have to accomplish the mission of the command. However, people always. Without people, you can't do anything. And wow, that is powerful. So let me ask you then. Leaders are learners, like Papa John has taught us. What are you learning right now?
I'm learning how to be a better coach right
Mm,
now. And currently, it's driven me to take the ICF accreditation. I'm currently
mhm.
working on the ICF accreditation, but I want to be the best coach I can possibly be in the world and to help as many
Yes.
people as possible. So I believe that I'm called to coach. That's one thing. I love coaching.
Mhm.
And when I coach and people, my clients get the results, they find their breakthrough, it gives me
Wow.
a sense of fulfillment that I can hardly describe. And so I'm focusing on learning how to be a better coach. And I'm reading books on coaching right now. One that I'm reading right now is Breakthrough Coaching by Marcia Reynolds. I didn't tell Marcia Reynolds, Breakthrough Coaching. And there is another one I'm reading from ICF Accreditation by Iftika Nadim, mentor coach. Yeah. So how to be the best coach that I can be.
Wow, that is quite powerful. Could you share, without giving details on your client, but one recent experience where it was very rewarding for you to see the result of your coaching?
Oh, you know, that's a question that I hesitate to answer that because
Okay.
I believe that sometimes it just I would disclose.
No, no, no. I completely
Yeah,
understand.
but
But
the thing is seeing my clients getting breakthrough, in different
yes.
areas of their lives. Okay, I can give example. Let me just give an example. I don't need to call names, but
Mhm.
an executive that I was coaching, aspiring to get to the board level and ensure that look, I achieve that board level position because that's my
Mhm.
ambition. And
Yes.
by the time we were done with the coaching, not really too long, this person discovered that no, I can be so much more by
Mm,
impacting the people closest to me. And
yes.
I can start doing that right now. I don't need to
Mm,
continue climbing that ladder of success, but my
yes.
success lies in the person in front of me. And that's what I'm going to focus on. And
Wow.
right now, currently, I'm seeing the person doing amazing things. I
That
just
is
watch and I
amazing.
say, wow, that's so fantastic.
Yeah, because you reminded me of something else that Papa John taught us, right? The difference between success and significance. And he always says, once you test
Yes,
significance, success will no longer satisfy. And that is so true. And
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah,
when you
I
coach
think
people,
that's a
it's not
good
about you
example.
anymore. It's about other people, isn't it?
Mhm.
Wow.
And that's one thing I love about coaching that look, I can really forget myself. I can really, it's not about me, it's about the
Mhm.
person I'm coaching at that time. And I'm totally removed from the outcome. And
Yes.
so my coaching can take different directions. Like clients can come to me and say, look, I want to get a promotion. And by the
Hmm.
time we are done, they'll find out that, oh, it's not really a promotion I want. There's
Hmm.
something else why I want that promotion. And the reason I want that promotion is for
That's
something. And
clarity.
they kind of chart a path for themselves that
Mm.
ultimately leads them to that goal that they wanted to, but they grow in the
Wow.
process. And that's what I love about coaching, the growth that
Beautiful.
happens in the process of achieving
Yes.
their goals. Yeah.
Wow. From confusion to clarity and
Yeah.
focus and purpose. That is powerful. So let me ask you this. We know all about your accolade. Even though you don't think you're successful, you are very, very successful. And we know all about this. Viscount says success on this side, but there is also failure on the other side of the same coin. So how has failure shaped your life?
Oh,
And can you talk
I
about it?
think probably that's one why I don't think myself as successful because I believe that there's so many things that I want to do, but I procrastinate. I still procrastinate. Even as a coach, even as a speaker and a leader, I still procrastinate. So I fail almost every day. I fail at taking my own instructions, and I fail at doing some of the things that I know I'm supposed to do. So that is something that shapes me every single day because it gives me the opportunity to reflect on how I can be better
Mm.
and how I can move forward. Of course, I've had failed businesses, done failed businesses. Those ones, yeah, I consider them not as failure, but as stones on my journey of success
Yes.
because I've learned from them. So for me, failure is
Mm.
about learning how not to do it and then helping others to do the same. But then still allowing them to fail as well because people need to fail. We all need failure in our lives. Yeah.
Well, that's powerful. Another two things that Papa John has taught us comes to mind. One is sometimes you succeed, sometimes you learn. So that's how he
Yeah.
sees failure. He wrote a book about that. And then also failing forward, right? When you
Mm,
fail, understanding why it happened and then learning from it. And that actually enables you to be even more successful, which is quite
yeah.
powerful. So let me ask you this.
But
Who are
Coach
some.
Busy, you know what? You know something? We don't always learn from our failures.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's happened to you that you failed the first time, that thing. You tried again, you failed it. You
Mm.
thought you learned the last time, but you still make the same mistake,
Yeah.
the same failure.
Mm.
Yeah, so we don't always learn from our failure, or sometimes it takes us longer.
So, what would you advise to an aspiring leader who keeps making the same mistakes over and over again? How would you coach someone like that to really learn from their experience?
Well, to find out, okay, what is the goal? What is it you're really trying to achieve?
Mm.
Because sometimes we fail because we don't have clarity on where we are going or what we really want. So if we can find clarity on where we're going and what we really want, and most often you can't do that by yourself. You need someone to come alongside you and partner with you. If you've been failing repeatedly on one thing, then you need to that's a signal telling you that look, you can't do this on your
Mhm.
own. You need the guide. You
Yes.
need someone to come and just help you see things in a different way, different perspective. And that's when you can actually move forward. Because sometimes when we fail repeatedly at something, we abandon it and we say, "Oh no, I'm not good at this thing. I'm not good.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it anymore." You know, but there is a lesson there. There's something there for you. You just have to
Yes.
understand that you can't do it by yourself. You need someone to help you, and that's where coaching
Wow.
can help. Yeah.
Powerful. So, who are some of your mentors, people that you follow, thought leaders that we should know about?
Oh, I follow Ed Milet. Ed
Yeah.
Milet. I like, yeah, Valerie Burton. Yeah, she's our mentor on the Maxwell team, but I've been following her even before she joined the Maxwell team. Yeah. And of course, John C. Maxwell.
Oh, so sorry.
Um,
Okay, here we go. You said Valerie
yeah,
Burton,
Valerie.
one of our
Yeah,
faculty members. Mhm.
yeah, one of our faculty members. Paul Martinelli. Paul Martinelli is someone that I
Yeah.
really I respect and mentored me and still mentors
Yes.
me. And then I won't be speaking right now without
Yeah.
Roddy Galbraith, of course,
Hmm.
Chris Robinson, and then I have an old-time mentor, Christian Simpson. I want to acknowledge the people that have helped me on my journey
Yes.
because
Yes.
they've really helped me. They've taken me to from one point to another point. Yeah.
Hmm.
And those people, they played an important role in my life. Right now,
Wow.
I'm following Marcia Reynolds. Marcia Reynolds, she's an amazing coach and she's mentoring me as well. Yeah.
Wow.
And
That is powerful.
yeah, I
Uh,
think those
and
are just,
I believe she's the one you mentioned. No, that's not the one. Sorry, this one. She wrote the book
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Breakthrough.
She wrote this book, Breakthrough
Yeah.
Coaching. Yeah,
Wow,
Breakthrough Coaching.
that
Yeah.
is amazing. Okay, let me ask you this then. If you could choose three people to have dinner with, who would you choose and why?
Oh, that famous dinner question. But dead or alive?
dead, alive, or even mythical figures. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, three people
Just people who
I would
fascinate
like
you
to have
or
dinner
inspire
with.
you.
Um, Mother Teresa.
Hmm.
Mother
You don't have to say
Teresa.
why for that one. Next,
John C. Maxwell. Anytime, any day.
of
I
course, you don't
don't
have to
get
say
tired.
why for this one either. Next,
No, no. There's always something new to learn from him because he's learning, he's growing. So yeah,
always
yeah. And
one more.
my mom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. So, what are you reading now that we should read? Earlier in the green room, we mentioned, of course, I want people to purchase your book, The Growing Life. Everybody needs to
Yeah.
read that. Uh, which other book would you recommend?
Okay. You know, this will sound like a cliche. Like I
Mhm.
mentioned, it would sound like, okay, because they are your mentors, so you're promoting
Yes.
them. No, I'm not promoting.
No, it's perfectly okay. We want to promote the right mentor on this show for
I'm
sure.
really not promoting my mentors, but
Mhm.
these two books are amazing because I can talk from them. I can talk, what I'm learning from the books,
Mhm.
how they are really changing my life and how
Yes.
I see my worldview. Chris Robinson's book From Drift to Drive and
Hmm.
Valerie Burton's book, The Rules of Resilience. The Rules
Yes.
of Resilience. So those are the two books that I have. Valerie's book is on my desk. Chris's book is by my bed on my bedside. On my bedside.
Wow, that's powerful. And you also mentioned the 15 invaluable laws of cope from
Yeah,
Papa John.
this one is my growth manual.
Yeah.
It's like a manual for me. I go
Yes.
there. Oh,
What about this one? The
this
powerful one.
one, the power of one more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the guide to happiness and success. It teaches
Yes.
you to be humble as a leader, that there's
Mm.
always one more person you can reach, you can touch.
Wow.
There's always one more thing. I mean, that book is
Yes.
amazing. The Power of One More. I read
That
it.
is really great.
So
And then of
yeah,
course you mentioned your coach, Marcia Reynolds, which I don't know yet, but I'm gonna be
yeah,
finding her and following her. Breakthrough
yeah. Please
coaching.
do,
Wow.
please
And
do.
what about podcast? I know you don't do movies. What about
Nah,
podcast? Podcast you would
don't do movies.
recommend?
Podcasts, I like that. Yeah, the Maxwell Leadership podcast. That's one for me. And then I have the Mileage Show, really powerful, and the Diary of a CEO. I love that. Yeah. So those are the
Fantastic.
three tops for me right now.
All right. So what is the song, book, or movie that would be your life's theme or anthem?
The song, book, or movie that will be my life's theme. The book
Or
could be the
anthem?
Bible. The
Fantastic.
Bible. Yeah.
Okay. So we are getting towards the end now. What is one action you are thinking about taking that you believe will positively impact your life?
Right now, one action that I want to take, I mentioned this we had this Connect call, Matter Leadership Coaches in Nigeria this morning. And one action that I want to take right now is to host a small global youth initiative with the youth in
Hmm.
my church on
Hmm.
Sunday. Yeah, I want to speak to the youth in my church and just teach them some leadership principles, share with them. I won't say teach them
Wow.
because they are really they are brilliant. They are brilliant. So
Yes,
share with them and add value to them on
that's
leadership.
powerful.
Yeah, on Sunday. So that's one action that is really close to my heart, top on my mind right now that I want to take this
Yeah.
week. Yeah,
That is, I guess I was still a youth when I was 17 years old. Is when I was really serious about learning about leadership and success. I wish I had started even earlier. So the work you're doing is really great. It can have a huge impact on the future. Thank you.
yeah.
That's powerful. So, but what is one action that you have already taken that has positively impacted your life?
Oh, I just did another coaching certification.
Wow.
And yeah, I just did that. And I'm still on the journey, but
Yeah.
I mentioned that I want to be the best coach that I can be. And
Mm.
so that is, for me, that's a big step towards that, becoming the
Always
best coach
learning.
that I can be. Yeah, always learning, always learning. I'm always
Powerful.
neck deep.
Yeah. 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 Wow. That is really amazing. And if you had one day, only one day to live, what would you have liked your final contribution to be?
Mm, value people.
Mm.
I would like to. That's something that I would like to live. People matter, and value people.
Yes.
Always value people because everyone has value.
Mm.
So I want to be remembered as someone that values people, someone that, you know, inspired people to become the best version of themselves because I
Mm.
valued them.
That is powerful. Again, you remind me of what Papa John says all the time, right? I have great value. I value people, and I add value to people.
Yeah,
That would really make our world much better, isn't it?
it will. It
Yeah.
absolutely will. I mean,
Wow.
I was telling my kids about kindness. With children, it's important to find
Mm-hmm.
teachable moments to teach them stuff. So I was driving back home from school, from picking them up from school, and a car gave me the opportunity to get into the road. And I said, "Oh, that person is so kind."
Mm.
And he said, "Oh, that's fine." And then just a few meters up the road, another car was wanting to just enter into the street. And so I
Oh
stopped.
no.
And I told them that, look, I'm paying it forward. What that
Yes.
person did to me, I'm paying it forward. And that's how we
Yes.
pay. When someone has been kind to
Mm.
you, you have to pay it forward by being kind to another person. So if we keep
That's
spreading
powerful.
kindness around the world, then the world will be a better place. So that was a teachable
Wow.
moment for me. And I try to find all those teachable
Definitely.
moments so I can pass on something.
So let me ask you this: you mentioned your children again. How many kids do you have?
I have three,
For
three,
kids?
two
Okay. I have.
boys.
I have. I have
Yeah,
two.
two
Two
boys
girls.
and girl.
Yeah. They really change your life, don't don't they? So
Oh
let
yeah.
let me ask you this: when you wake up in the morning, what is one problem you would like to solve?
When I wake up in the one problem I want to solve. Hmm. Bad leadership.
Mm.
I mean,
Yes.
it my heart bleeds when I see what's going on in the world, and when I realize that it's all as a result of bad leadership. I
Yes.
wish I can just sometimes I say, if I can just, God, if you can just erase all these bad leaders.
Yes.
But not really. I said, then I'll catch myself. No, not don't erase them, but help them, teach
Yes.
them how to lead better.
Mm.
Because
Powerful.
ultimately, perhaps there's something they desire. There's something good that they desire to achieve, but they're
Yes.
not going at it the right way.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That is
that's it.
quite powerful. Again, Papa John a few years ago was talking about being leadership sad, and I felt that way
Yeah,
so many,
it
many
is.
times.
It
We need
is.
more leaders in the world. Okay, so we are coming toward the end of the show. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. It's been almost an hour. How can we add value back to you?
Oh, simple. Please get my book, The Growing Life. You learn so much more about me from my book. Follow me on LinkedIn. Yeah. When you follow me on LinkedIn, you interact with my posts, comments, share,
Yes,
and I can follow you. If you follow me, I'll follow you back.
that
But
is awesome.
please, when you follow me, don't start selling. Don't start selling.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
follow me because you want to sell. Follow me because you really want to connect with me.
yes.
And eventually you get to sell. So please, let's
Yeah,
connect
I think it was
genuinely.
almost 20 years ago when I first joined LinkedIn. Back then, only recruiter would be spamming me and harassing me. But
Mhm.
today, it's mostly salespeople. I don't
Yeah.
get it. But Anyway, thank you so much for that. Okay, to end the show, we have about 8 minutes left. Let me ask you this: if you could go, oh, first before I do, is there a question I should have asked you that I haven't asked yet?
Oh, I think you've just been amazing. You've just been really amazing. And I wish this can go on for longer so I could
I
talk
know,
more.
I know, I know, but you only gave me an hour. And I know you have to go, so I'm gonna take full advantage of it. So, if you could go back and give a piece of advice to your 17-year-old self, standing at the edge of this incredible career you've had in Africa, in the European Union, and in the UK, what would you say to 17-year-old Kate?
Ah, where was I when I was 17? Oh, 17-year-old Kate. I would tell 17-year-old Kate, don't take life too seriously.
Hmm.
Because I was academically focused and driven in my teenage years, and I used to take life too seriously. And I think
Mhm.
what I'll tell my 17-year-old is don't take life too seriously. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So
Hmm.
you're not running anywhere. Life is going to
Yes.
happen. So don't be in a hurry.
Yes. That is powerful. Actually, there is a video I use to promote this podcast where we talk exactly about that, life being a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay,
And that's
I'd
one of
love
the,
to hear that,
yeah, that's one
please.
of the main advices I received when I became a officer in the U.S. Navy. My primary mentor told me, "Hey, life in the Navy is not a sprint; it's a marathon. So we don't want you to go all in and then you get tired and then you quit. No, we want you to go for the long run." Like, I started as an ensign, and now I am a commander. That's exactly what he wanted: longevity. Keep yourself strong for the entire ride, for the entire race. That is powerful. Okay, we are running out of time, so this is gonna be some rapid fire question. Don't take too long to think. Okay, we're just gonna go boom, 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 boom. One word that defines great leadership. Don't think too long. One word. Quick, quick.
Love,
Love. Okay. Morning routine or practice that keeps you grounded.
reflection,
Okay. A book or a quote that changed your life.
the Bible,
Okay. And who inspire you most today?
dead or alive.
It doesn't matter.
I'll go Jesus,
Okay. And finish the sentence. Leadership is.
influence,
Okay. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
an astronaut.
Wow.
Don't
Okay. You are
ask
not
me.
not today. Okay. That's good. Good thing.
An
Initially,
astronaut, then a doctor, and then
okay. And then a
I,
lawyer.
I wanted to be so many things.
Did you want to be a lawyer also?
No, not a lawyer, but a
Okay.
military
Okay.
doctor.
Okay.
I actually thought of going to the military at some point,
Actually,
really.
it's interesting that you say military doctor because I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid because I was sick a lot, and actually, a military doctor saved my life, and
Oh,
that's what I really wanted to be. Now, I went to school here in the U.S. Now, I was pre med. I did biology and chemistry. Then I almost got a PhD in microbiology, but I ended up in technology. But anyway, so what are three adjectives describing you as a child?
what adjective?
As a child.
Oh, bookworm,
Okay, two more.
nerd,
One more.
four eyes.
Okay. As an adult.
As an adult, I don't think I think about that.
Quickly,
For
quickly,
me,
quickly, running out of time. As an adult.
I don't know how people describe me. Maybe as a
But
coach.
how do you describe yourself? Okay, coach. What else?
Yeah, a coach,
Hmm.
um, a daughter of Zion,
Okay, one more.
lover of Jesus,
Okay, very
a
good.
mother.
All right. So we are coming to the very, very end. This is the very last question I'm going to ask you, and I'm giving you 3 minutes back. Thank you so much for spending the time with us today. What is one word that represents our shared experience on this podcast today? One word.
One word, collaboration.
Okay. I think I'm just so grateful and overjoyous to really see, another person from the other side of the world. It's as if I've known you for my entire life. I'm just grateful for technology and John Maxwell leadership bringing us together. So thank you so much.
My pleasure, Coach Bees. Thank you for
Wow,
having me. Appreciate.
awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.